Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is No Dust here, bringing you some more Tavern Brawl shenanigans, first impressions and analysis. This week we have miniature warfare. So, before we hop in, I'm just going to have a look at my quests. Paladin, Priest, Warlock, Mage, Victory. I don't think I can re-roll anymore. Nope. Okay, so we're going to probably run with Priest today, just to get some quests done. I haven't built the deck yet, but let's have a read of the description. That pesky Shrinkmeister turned all of your minions into all of your Hearthstone cards into toys. Now all your minions are 1/1s and only cost 1 mana. Now this, just from the description, I get the impression that you need to put Battlecry and Death Rattle minions into the list. That's really important because they all cost 1, so they're fairly quick to get out, and they're all 1/1, so they're fairly easy to remove. But Battlecries will be effective. Might not be too bad actually, and things like Elven Archer wouldn't be too bad either because they will remove. They'll get rid of. How do you say? It will clear 1 minion from the opponent's side. Something like a Mad Bomber wouldn't be too bad either. Abusive Sergeant I don't think is too relevant here because you don't often need to be hitting above 1 health. I think sometimes you may need to. Minions that create more minions, obviously very good. Maybe some Brew. Earthen Ring may be useful. Exorcist. I wonder if this will work. Let's try it anyway. Argus may come in useful because the minions are so quick. Shattered Sun I think will be pretty good as well. Let's try a Razor Fen. Let's try the I wonder. So here's a question. Do the summon a minion cards also get reduced to all 1/1s? What I mean by that is Dragon Limb Mechanic usually summons a 2/1. Will it summon a 1/1 this time? Let's see, yeah? And this first game will just be for gathering info. Now, I don't think the Frostwolf Warlord is going to work. The Silence will be nice. And remember, these all cost the same. So, a 1 mana, deal 4 damage, that's not too bad. That means Kraken will be really powerful, actually. And I'll try a Silverhand Knight as well. Let's see what actually comes out of those summon a minion sort of things. Big Brew. Doing the same thing as Small Brew. We'll run a heal bot. And everything costing 1 mana, you'll probably need some card draw. MCT, let's just try it. There's no harm, no foul. And Novice Engineer is actually exactly the same as, well, not as good as Azure Drake. So we'll just let's put 2 in. I'll take. It doesn't really matter about the stats of the cards, actually. I'll just take a Brew out and just see how we go. Let's think about the Death Rattles as well. And you may actually want to be running more spell cards, but let's... And you don't even need to look at the... It's not even necessary to look at the stats of the... At the moment, I don't think, anyway. Do I want to draw first or draw later? Let's just grab Loot Hoarder and just add more draw. Clockwork will be useful. And again, with the experimentation, whether these Death Rattles will actually pop out a 2/1 and pop out a random 2 cost, as opposed to a 1/1, will be interesting to see. So let's put another Harvest Golem in. I keep looking at the curve, but the curve doesn't matter. Or ostensibly, the curve doesn't matter. So, but we will see. MCT may be a little too slow. Exorcist may work. This is really this brawl is the parameters of this brawl are really interesting, but it's really confusing me right now because I'm not quite sure how it works. So let's actually just hop in with our full minion deck and let's see how it goes. Okay, so game 1. I'll see you. Oh, no, I'll see you in the Mulligan. Okay. Whoops. Let's get back into the client. I think I want to keep card draw because I'm going to empty my hand very, very quickly. I think this is a fine keep. I'm not exactly sure what sort of mulligan you want, but I think early card draw useful. Mistcaller. I wonder if Mistcaller will actually do anything. Now he's only a 1/1, so I wonder if the 1/1.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
Okay, that answers my question. So summoned minions are also 1/1s. Good, but not great. And something like a Neff is actually a really strong. Right. So Mistcaller actually works. Mistcaller works to override the mini buff, the mini beak debuff. Okay, this is going to be problematic, I feel. Let's shoot some things. Doesn't make too much of a difference what I shoot. Now, what else would also be really powerful in this list? Note this is I'm doing these. Pardon me. I'm doing this analysis and first impressions on my budget rogue list, on my budget rogue account. So I don't really have access to things like how do you say, unstable ghoul. Something like unstable ghoul would be insane. Ghoul would be great. Something like Mistcaller, also great, as we have seen from my opponent's. Let's actually draw a card. Twilight Drake. We'll drop this. Now I get the feeling that the Death Rattle minion that comes out of the Shredder will also be debuffed to a 1/1. I think that's the case. Now I wonder if this sort of debuff synergizes with Hobgoblin. So Hobgoblin synergy question mark? Now it definitely seems like efficient board clears will be great in this mode. Yeah, and I will definitely mix in some efficient board clears after this game is over. And I don't think I'm going to win this one. It seems like my opponent here has some considerable experience playing. Okay, that answers my question. Some considerable experience playing. Whoops. Some considerable experience playing this Tavern Brawl already. Probably already fit in a couple of games. So the Mistcaller is great, and there's nothing I can really do against that early Mistcaller. Efficient board clear, and it doesn't have to be high damage board clear. What else might be good? What else might be good? I wonder, yeah.
If you're sure.
Probably something like a Warlock would be more powerful in this mode than something like a Warlock would be more powerful in this mode. Mini size set to 1/1. So looking at the buff, it seems to suggest that no. I was just thinking that it would ignore things like Cleric's Blessing, but that's obviously not true.
Wanna blow something up?
And the Totems get set to 1/1 as well. That's really powerful. It actually makes Shaman a really powerful class. Yeah. The note is Totems get set to 1/1 also. So previously, 0 attack minions get set to 1/1 also. That's interesting. Okay, anyway, let's mix in some more things such as Pyro will be very useful for these are all essentially the same. So I'll run to Pyro, but I'll need some spells. That silence may be useful, although I have no spells because this is a level 14. Oh, sorry, a level 4 priest. I have very few spells. That is to say. Okay then. So having said that, I think Shredder is okay. The silence will be okay. Yeah, just taking me some time to wrap my head around the whole concept, because all of these things. Let's just take out some minion generation. So you can sort of. I'm starting to form a picture in my mind. Can sort of divide your deck into your cards. Into different basic types. So you have one. One is your minion generation, e.g. summon a 1/1. 2 is your buff an existing minion. And 3, what else is there? Buff an existing minion. So minion generation, yeah, buff an existing minion. You can go, 3 is card draw. And 4, we may look at board clear and damage. Yeah, so I'm lacking a little bit of board clear and damage. So let's see what we can find in terms of board clear and damage. Stormpike may be useful. Knife Juggler is probably a little too slow. Ironforge is... I mean, Stormpike is they're exactly the same, actually. What am I talking about? Because they're all going to cost 1, and the stats don't matter. Obviously, you're going to take Stormpike because of the Battlecry. It deals 2 damage, so it gives me a bit of reach. Let me get rid of some minion generation for some more board clear and board control. What else do I want? I have give minion. Yeah, PWS will be fairly powerful, I believe, if we are able to actually place the buff on something. Okay, so what else do we have? We have a fair amount of board clear now. Let's get rid of the MCT. Let's get rid of the Little Exorcist. It's a little too situational. We'll run 2 Power Word Shields. I probably do want a Temple Enforcer as well, because Temple Enforcer is like a another form of Power Word Shield. You're paying 1 to give a friendly minion 3 health. You don't draw a card though, so it's a little different there. But it's a minion buff, and it comes with a minion also. So, having said that, what do we take out? So we have card draw, we have minion generation, we have board clear and damage. We have a fairly good amount of all of them for now. So let's. We could also, there's also another category of minion and cards that we can talk about is silence and soft removal. So we have silence and soft removal in the form of a spellbreaker, Temple Enforcer, and I do want to put Thought Steals in. So let's get rid of some engineers and put some Thought Steals in. Thought Steals, however, will still cost 3, and I don't have a ton of spells, so I may want to actually put in some more spell cards. Mind Vision, Silence, they're not great. They're not great, honestly. So in that case, I will take 1 Pyro out and put in a second Enforcer, and let's try take 2 with the Priest list. See you in the mulligan. Okay, not keeping the Thought Steal. Starting with 2 1/1s is pretty good. I think the Rogue Hero Power here is also pretty good. I don't really want the Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker is better when used on something that's been buffed up and fairly scary. The Wild Pyro will be useful. Although I don't have many spells in this list, so I may want to consider swapping out Wild Pyro for something else. And we'll see in this game what that something else may be. Okay. Now, I wonder if things like Warlord, do things like Frostwolf, Warlord, and Sea Giant still work? Now, I think that Sea Giant probably no. No, because it comes out as a vanilla 8/8 that gets reduced based on the amount of minions on the board. But when it comes to the Frostwolf warlord, and I will buff the Drake actually, because the Drake may... I don't actually have any damaging spells in this list actually, I don't think so. But so like I was saying before, the Sea Giant probably gets debuffed to a 1/1, but the Frostwolf comes onto the board and then it buffs itself into, you know, ++ for whatever. So let's try one. So for science, try a Frostwolf or 2 next game. Yeah, I will do that, and I just want to see whether that works, whether you can play some sort of a token list with a good amount of card draw, which is sort of what this list has turned into. A bit of card draw, a bit of how do you say? Okay, what's Thought Seal? We can be considered to be ahead on the board. Yeah, Stormwind Champ is actually pretty powerful as well, but the champ itself is very vulnerable. So it can be considered to be, I guess, like a more... It's an AoE Shattered Sun. So really, when it comes down to minion buffing, Stormwind Champ probably okay? Question mark. The difference between Stormwind Champ and Shattered Sun is that if the Stormwind Champ gets cleared, and being 1 health, it probably gets cleared quite easily, the buff goes away. It does heal your minions for 1 when it comes down, but it doesn't really matter then, because, how do you say, if they getting healed for 1 from 1 health, I don't know, it's complicated. Anyway, Knife Juggler into minion generation is not too bad either, so let's do some of that. I don't want to sacrifice the Stormwind Champ. Yeah, let's do a lot of minion generation. Probably should have used the Inventor first. So Knife Juggler is actually quite useful here. So Knife Juggler plus lots of free minions equals nice combo. Rogues do have Fan, and Fan definitely did a lot of work there. But I did get a lot of value from the Knife Juggler. I don't know how many knives it was. 6, probably. Okay, now let's set this up. I don't really want to use my either of these cards right now. I want to hold them in my hand for reach and for board clear next turn. Definitely the Stormwind Champ gives you a decent board clear because it allows your minions to stay alive against your opponent's 1/1s. And it does seem like, in this mode, health buffs equals very useful. So things like...
Something needs tinkering?
Okay, yeah, that does work. So this Tinkertown buffing himself, it leads me to believe that buffs coming after the minion is played still apply. Yeah, so buffs coming after the minion is played still apply. Okay, that's interesting to know. Definitely is very useful to know. I will go Stormwind Champ, and I will Power Shield Stormwind Champ to keep it out of trouble. Let's clear this. Do I want to spend a Kraken to clear 1/1? No, I don't think so. Let's just push out with this. And I'll save the Kraken. I'll save the potential damage of the Kraken. This will draw the fire of the Micro Machine. I think that... pardon me. I think that the Stormwind Champ... Okay. Time Rewind. You're going to hit and then Time Rewind. You're going to hit and then you're going to... Okay. And then stealth up another one. Oh, interesting. Interesting strategy. Master of Disguise is not too bad as a 1/1 battle... With a 1/1... How do I say? If it costing 1/1 and being a 1/1 minion. Okay, I wonder what you're going to do about the Storming Sham. And you've got to... Did you attack with the Master of Disguise? No, you didn't. I think we're done. 2, 4, 6, 7. No, we're not quite done. Okay, well, let's just keep pressuring them. Now, the thing is, there may be some sort of combo nonsense coming. I don't think the rogue can burst me from 30, but there is 9 damage on the board. And then it may actually, I think it grows to, yeah. It grows to 11 damage. With 5 cards in hand, you could possibly have, you could possibly pull out 19 damage worth of reach with this sort of a board. It possibly, but there we go. So it's not happening right now. I mean, it could still be happening right now, but I would have imagined you'd have to use all of your cards to do. There's no reason to silence that. Assassin. Okay. That's definitely not a card. Raid Leader is actually pretty good if you want to be aggressive. But I think we're done. If you don't clear my board, we're done because of... yeah, you should have swung with that also. Anyway, I think we're done, yeah. Because of the Kraken. So, the Kraken is really OP in this mode. You pay 1 mana for 4 damage. I'll take that any day over spell-based removal. So we did get our win there, but we did notice... so Knife Juggler, free minions is a really strong combo. Frostwolf also works. So token into Frostwolf. So token deck into Frostwolf equals good. So let's try that actually. Let's do one more game. Hopefully we can get... oh, we've got Holy Nova and we've got a pack. Okay, let's crack open the pack. Let's see if it gives us any priest goodies. But things like Frostwolf, things like Tinkertown that buff themselves after coming onto the board actually still work. So that's quite interesting. Nothing really of note there. Yeah, so post... How should I categorize them? Minions that buff self after being played, still good value. E.g. Tinkertown, and I do believe Frostwolf will do the same. So let's do some disenchanting. Wow, I had most of those cards. Anyway, let's make a couple of changes. I think that I take out some of the board removal to play more token. To play a more token-based deck. And I do have 2 Knife Jugglers actually, so that's going to be... And the Knife Juggler itself can function as... how do you say? As board control. If I can combo Knife Juggler and play a bunch of these things, that will be really useful. Now, the Harvest Golem itself will also work in this case. So I probably do want to put all of these into my list. Question is, what do I take out? I'll take out the Harvest, actually. The Harvest doesn't really quite synergize with the Knife Juggler effect. And I'll take out the Shredder because, again, it doesn't quite synergize with the Knife Juggler effect. These summoning 1/1s are better, probably. And let's see if we can put in a Frostwolf. Yep. Let's fit in 2 Frostwolves and sort of give this list a little bit more... like, define this... Fill out this list. Give it a more of a defined win condition. Now, where are we... Where can we take things out? Yeah. The Clockwork Gnome, I think, will be very useful. What's Steel Hunter, Shattered Sun, Argus. Temple Enforcer is very powerful. And I don't really want to lose any of my card draw because I may... It's very easy to run out of steam, I believe, in this mode. Let's take a silence. Can I afford to lose the silence? Okay, you know what? Let's take one of the minion generations. Let's take the 2 silver hands out for the Frostwolves. I don't think you can have that much minion generation. But then again... who knows? Anyway, let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, let's hop back in for another game of Priest. See you in the mulligan. Okay, facing up against Druid. Now, one thing I haven't considered about regarding this brawl mode is using spells. Sorry, how do I say it? using spell cards. How many? So the next question is, how many spell cards and what sorts of spell cards do you want? Now, Neff is really powerful here, actually. Neff equals great battle cry for 1 mana. And definitely anything with great battle. I mean, because it all costs 1 mana, the majority of the value comes from the battle cry. And okay, and I think I will just keep. I'm not going to spend the cleric yet because I want to save the cleric for. Now, because these battle cries, some of these battle cries are ridiculously powerful. You may actually want some brews. As pseudo card draw, because you play it for 1 mana, you gain the benefit of the battle cry, and then you brew it for 1 mana, and then you play it again for 1 mana. Yeah, so I think brews are actually brews make sense, and also that's the thing that I was also thinking about. Divine Shields are probably good also, but I think the shields can also be good in a Divine Shields can also be good in a buff specific deck, which it may appear like what our opponent is doing here. So let's push out with the Knife Juggler combo. See what we can find. We should be able to do a full board clear here. Yeah, we should be able to do a full board clear here. And I definitely don't want this thing coming. You know what? I want to buff the Knife Juggler to force him to hero power. Yeah, let's do that. And if I get a lucky knife, this Elven Archer is going to go down, and the hero power won't even. Okay, well, obviously we didn't get the lucky knife, but it will considerably slow him down unless he has a second Elven Archer in hand, or unless he has like a Kraken, or. I mean, there are a number of answers to a 2-health minion. In my list, you know, you'd have Stormpike Commando, but yet forcing out a hero power, very useful here, slowing him down quite considerably. Oh, okay, what's happening here? You're not going to clear the thing is, I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to keep throwing knives at you. Yeah, and that's fine because I'll use it for board control, and I'll just keep throwing knives. You can still do damage to your face, even if. Now, do I want to overextend into swipe? That's the question. I will be overextending into swipe. His turn 4 swipe is coming up right away. Let's just hold the cards. I don't want to really give him heaps of value on swipe. And I think a swipe, probably a great card here. Arcane Explosion, also very good. Anything that does 1 damage AoE. Yeah, 1 damage AoE is probably great, I'm assuming. So, let's note that down. 1 damage AoE cards, probably great, which is sort of why I want to put Unstable in this list. Yeah, so Explosive Ship is a little slow, but if you had Unstable instead, it would force the...
Sorry.
Be quiet. Now, do I want a PWS? No, I don't. That's okay. That's fine. I don't really care. And you didn't swipe me. So let's keep buffing this thing. Okay, and I'll save the Stormpike in hand. Yeah. I don't need to attack with the Knife Juggler for it to get value. And yeah, the Explosive Sheep, it does the same thing as Unstable Ghoul, except there's no taunt. The really important thing about Unstable Ghoul is the taunt. Okay, you switched out your hero power. What sort of crazy... What are you doing? Anyway, now that it deals 2, nothing is really... That's fine.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Let's just hold it here. I want to slow things down a little bit. I need some more card draw. I don't want to run out of steam. I don't want to play everything and then have it all get hard removed by a swipe, by a I don't know what else there may be. But here we go. So we have a second Knife Juggler, and I think I will want to combo that. So let's just push out with this one, gain some more. So he's still not able to deal with the Knife Juggler, and the Knife Juggler has actually done a ton of damage to his face. So this token Knife Juggler style really works. Is there a swipe coming? I'm feeling a swipe. Yeah, there it is. That's fine. You spent your entire turn. Dealing with my board. Oh, you did get a heal bot off, but that's fine. We should be able to clear that with second Knife Juggler. There we go. Now, Cultist, Dark Cultist works in token style lists, and obviously Priest isn't the best for. I don't think you can. Oh, you can attack. Can you click on your hero and drag it? You can. I don't think Priest is the best for token style lists. Probably the best are Druids and. Yeah, that answers my question too. So, spells summoning minions equals still debuffed to 1/1. But obviously, you can buff it with a spell card. That's also something I was wondering about before. Now, the Clockwork will do good work for us. We'll hopefully gain the Rewinder. Well, any of the spare parts will be useful, but not as useful in this mode. More useful for us would probably be something along the lines of... Yeah, Rewinder. The freeze isn't great. Okay, so it's like double mark of nature. I think I still have... I didn't take my silence out, did I? Okay. Swordsmith is actually not bad. I'm just gonna have to sit and wait. Sort of run out of steam. Yeah, so Dark Cultist, just to help stop running out of steam. Now I wonder, the Nerubian Egg may work, but I think what it gets summoned from the egg is still a 1/1, so it's not incredible. I think I'm just gonna keep waiting. I want to hit a full Argus, a full value Argus that is, and ideally I get something to play a minion, and then Temple Enforcer the minion, and then Argus them both. There isn't a lot of damage on the board, so I'm not too concerned, although it will keep growing, which means I really do need to look for my silence. Now the Stormpike. I'm going to have to shoot this thing anyway, and then we can Argus out.
My seal for Argus.
Okay. Do I want to Whirling Blades? Let's save it. Let's save it for some reach. It's not going to make a difference right now. I can't really attack with anything. And I'll have the mana to play Whirling Blades next turn anyway. So, the difference being I may not have a minion to play Whirling Blades on. So that was the consideration there. Okay. Right, just cycling.
My seal for Argus.
So I think we've just run out of steam on this one. Now let's just confirm. Yep, it stays as a 1/1. It's okay. I mean, the 1/1 egg that can attack and then gives you another 1/1. It's not too bad. Okay, I think we're done. But that's okay. So Dark Cultist works well to stop running out of steam. So I will put that in. And Stormwind Champ. Stormwind Champ, probably good in a token style list, and I will put in some brews. So let's do one final game before we wrap up. Yeah, so I want some brews. Now I can replace my card draw with the brews. Okay, and then what else did I want? I wanted some Dark Cultist action, and I don't have Dark Cultists. What? No, not Dark. Ooh, what am I talking about? Dark Cultist is the... Yeah, my apologies. Cult Master. Cult Master is what I was looking for, and I do have 2 copies of Cult Master. And then, therefore, I will get rid of some card draw for Cult Master. Let's get rid of a Drake. let's get rid of both Drakes for Cult Master. It allows me to cycle through my deck much quicker. And I don't actually have any spell-based... I don't have actually any spells that would get buffed by the Drake. Yeah, this is about right. North Shide could also work, but it turns out it's a 1-1, so it's not that great. Let's get rid of these new cards. Direwolf, Flashing, okay. Do I want to put in a Stormwind Chap, a 1-1 minion that gives 1-1 to everyone else? It's sort of like a win more card. I don't think so. I think that a Frostwolf... Let's take a Frostwolf out and let's put a... I think that Frostwolf here is almost strictly better than Stormwind Chap. Because of how easy Stormwind Chap is to remove. The effect is very powerful, but it gets removed so easily. Okay, let's just try one final game. See you in the mulligan. Okay, so we've got our minion generation, and we've got our Thought Steal. Do I want to keep the Thought Steal? Yeah, let's keep the Thought Steal. Stops me from running out of steam. Now, the next question is, what sort of... now, I have a good two mana combo. Mechanic into Argus. Very strong. Next question is, what sort of start is optimal for this list? Oh, Drakes actually work. That's pretty cool. Twilight Drakes work because of the Battlecry effect. Are you gonna Argus? Okay. Interesting. That's really interesting. So therefore, Twilight Drakes are actually really powerful because even with one other card in hand, it becomes a 1 for a 1/2, and that's better than everything. I mean, obviously, a 1 for a 1/2 isn't incredible, but you play it on turn 1, you get a 1 for a 1/6. That's pretty nice. So Twilight Drakes are pretty cool. Because of the buff being on the Battlecry as opposed to the card. So let's see how we go. Now, the Argus is still going to do a fair amount of work here. Let's see how we go. I've got the Temple Enforcer, so it's a high health. I'm wondering if what we're looking at here is, how do you say, in a fire list, an in a fire OTK list. I wonder. Now, the other question is, do I Thought Steal or do I develop a minion and heal? I think I want to develop a minion and heal. Because this protects my 2/1/1s. Pardon me, I'm getting a little nasally here. Yeah, if you haven't noticed already, I'm sure you have already noticed throughout this recording. Just recovering. This is again, as I've mentioned in some of my other uploads. This is my first round of recordings since coming back onto working on the channel from about a 3-week hiatus. Circle. Are you going to circle? Orkney is nice because Orkney sort of like gives you a battle cry. It's a persistent effect, so you know it's not too dissimilar from. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to brew, and hopefully we get at least one lucky knife into the Orkney. There we go. Okay, excellent. And get 2 more knives. The problem now being that I have run out of steam, and such is the case with token lists. This would work, I feel, so much better in a warlock because of the tap. In a priest, it's not great, but you know, I'm doing priest because here we go. My opponent knows what he or she is doing. A stable ghoul does a ton of work here. Although it will clear my opponent's board as well. It would have cleared my opponent's board. Let's see if we can find anything. This works.
The Frostwolf stand ready.
This works. Okay.
Another round.
Do I just sit on it? Do I sit on it or do I clear? The question is, if I clear it now, I lose everything. But he can just run into me and I lose everything anyway. Yeah, let's clear, and then I can develop my clockwork. So definitely, the Unstable Ghoul, a very, very good control card in this in this environment. It will clear almost everything, aside from things like Frostwolf. Yeah, very nice card, but unfortunately I don't have access to this said very nice card. Okay, so nice.
Must cleanse the Sunwell.
Faceless, not too bad either. Yeah, Faceless, a very good battle cry. Also very good battle cry. And Micro Machine not too bad either, I believe, because of the stat gain. But the health is still so low, so I wonder. Now I can empty my hand. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to deal with. I'm not going to be able to deal with. I'll play the Cold Master. Yeah, let's empty my hand. And I'll flash heal this fella. Myself. And we'll gain some card draw.
Let me get that.
Yeah. The 6/6 is going to be problematic. I should be able to shoot it with my Storm Pike, but I may not. It's questionable. Yeah, the 6/6 is going to be problematic, especially in Priest. He's going to be able to heal it up. And I think I got the flash heal from Thought Steel, so it's definitely there to buff up. I don't know why you wouldn't use Circle though. I mean, there probably is a Circle in this list. You know, it's like a sort of Orkanai with flash heal and an Orkanai Circle, and things with high health sort of thing. Yeah, there's the flash heal. It's going to be quite annoying for me to deal with. I can Storm Pike that to remove his Jeeves, but yeah, I don't think I have much of a option here, really, in terms of developing onto the board. And okay, let's do this. I think I'll card draw first to see what we find. Valen's interesting. Anyway, let's shoot this and get rid of some of the peskiness on his board. And let's push out like this. Probably not optimal. Seems like my opponent is really actually thought about this Tavern Brawl. You know, putting things like Faceless. Faceless is very powerful battle cry in certain situations, allowing you to do a lot of cool things. But you know, Epic card don't have it. If I did get it previously, I would have disenchanted it. There we go. The Holy Nova doing a lot of work there. And a 1/1 Firelord Charm. Yeah. So this is definitely like how this list might look if I were playing on a completed collection. And we're done. Okay, that's cool. At least I got my pack win, and you know, really this sort of brawl also does feel a little bit pay to win. The more powerful battle cries, the more powerful legendaries that you have, the better you go. I mean, although saying that, you know, things like North Sea, things like Temple Enforcer, they are commons and they do fairly good work. But again, you know, looking from my opponent's list, Twilight Drakes, they're not too expensive to craft, and Faceless is something that really hasn't seen constructed play in a while. I haven't seen one in tournaments, at least the tournaments that I've watched, and really, really useful here. And obviously the rag, you can see the little rag on the pre-pick here, on the splash of the Tavern Brawl. Anyway, let's finish things up. Got my one win, but went down 3 times for, I guess, you know, just against decks that had better cards and probably were better built than what I had. Anyway, I hope you guys found this clip to be, this video to be useful. You know, I'll be putting all these strategies together in the show notes and in the description of the YouTube video, so if you guys want to have a look over that and get some basic strategies as you follow along with the video, and you know, think about what sort of list you might want to put together, especially given that you'll probably have more cards than I have. So so thank you in advance for liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing. I do this with love, and any gestures of appreciation mean a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful 2016, and I will be back shortly with some more gaming, with some more videos. So until then, this is NoDust signing off. See you next time.